Hello, it's Pickard back with part 2 on your crash course of cellular biology. So, do you remember my scary picture from last time? I'm going to rub that out. Okay. Now, if you want to know what that meant, please click the link which I'll put up here soon and go back and watch Cellular Biology Part 1, a crash course in cellular biology Part 1. Now, part 2, the most important thing about a cell, okay? Okay, so a cell, okay, we've got the nucleus. Looks like a very slightly demented one-eyed pumpkin, I know. You've got mitochondria, okay, and you have the cell membrane. Now, last time I told you that the cell needs two things. It needs lots of good nutrition, it needs a nerve supply, it needs to get rid of its waste. Okay, so what do you think is the most important thing of the cell? Mitochondria, cytoskeleton, membrane, the nucleus where the DNA is? Well, it's this bit here. It's the membrane. Now, do you know what cell membranes are made of, mostly? Some of you are going to be surprised. It's made mostly of a fat that you may well have heard of, called cholesterol. Cholesterol is needed for every single cell in your body. Now, if your body isn't getting enough or is unable to make the right cholesterol, well, it needs all the kinds of cholesterol it makes, otherwise it wouldn't make them. But if your body's not getting enough cholesterol and your cells are not healthy, it will pump more cholesterol into the blood to try and get cholesterol to where it's needed. You need cholesterol. Lowering cholesterol is one of the most ridiculously stupid ideas that medicine has ever come up with as an across-the-board thing to do for everyone. If you meet a medical doctor that thinks statin drugs and cholesterol lowering are good for everybody, then you're talking to a medical doctor that knows very little about cellular biology. And I don't care who shouts up about me saying that, because there's an awful lot of science that will back me up, because every single cell is made with lots of cholesterol. And it's the cell membrane, is actually the brain of the cell. And it's also no coincidence that most of your brain is made of lots of fat, needs huge amounts of cholesterol, which is one reason why a lot of people on cholesterol lowering drugs, their memory goes, because the body is deliberately trying to get cholesterol to the brain cells to make more brain cells and to keep them happy. Now, if your cholesterol is high, it's a good reason to actually find out why it's high, not just to lower it, but find out what is really going on. And it's often because there's problems with the cell membrane somewhere, for different reasons. One, because it might not be getting enough nutrients to make the cell membranes. The nerve supply may be a problem, or it's not getting rid of waste and toxins. And it's getting rid of the waste and toxins that's the most important thing. And if your cell membrane is dysfunctional, if it's not made up properly, then these things can't get in, and the waste can't get out. So you end up with a cell where nutrients can't get in and waste can't get out. Now, just imagine what would happen in your house, okay, if you locked all the doors and windows, okay, and you're in there with your children, your spouse, and you're running out of food, and the other thing is it's not working is the toilets aren't working because you can't flush your waste away. So what's going to happen? Eventually you're going to run out of food, and the house is going to fill up with rubbish and dirt and waste, and it's not going to be a good place to live in, and you're going to want to eventually smash out of that house any way you can and get somewhere else. And the problem is, when the cell membrane is not working properly, this is what's happening inside the cell. It's just building up with toxic horror, and eventually it then bursts and you end up with more toxic horror everywhere else. So we have to look after the cell, and we have to make sure that your cell membranes are really working. And this is what Dr. Daniel Pompa really presses home in his True Cellular Detox program, is the importance of getting the membrane working before you really try and do a detox, or before you can really expect to be truly healthy. Yes, he says you've got to work on the nerve supply. Yes, you've got to work on nutrients. Yes, you've got to work on detox. But you've got to make sure every single cell in your body is working and healthy before you can really detox, before nutrition really makes a big difference, or makes all the difference it can be. So if you would like to know more about cellular detox or just detoxification in general, there are true detox pathways, true things that you can do that work. Dr. Rakowski does detox programs. Those are the ones that I actually use over here at the moment. And I'm bringing Dr. Pompa's True Cellular Detox to the UK as well, because we need it. And you need it if you're watching this. Okay, be well.